I have learned so many new skills that I want to unlearn and never ever use again, because this DIY like life, it's not for me. Like, I do DIYs out of necessity because I don't like to spend money, not for fun. I would not redo this kitchen. I'm really hoping that in 5 to 8 years, this neighborhood will just start getting gentrified and I don't have to do anything to my house because they're gonna just mow it down. So like, I was considering painting the ceiling this color. That's why you see this. But I'm gonna just leave it because I'm tired. Stay tuned. Yeah.
So this is the before of my cute little crusty kitchen. This house was built in the 1940s, so all the cabinets and stuff are like original. In the 1900s, people cared about craftsmanship and their work. So when I tried to take apart this kitchen, it said no. The sink, when I tried to remove it, I think it was dated in 1964. It was an original cast iron sink and it weighed like 80 pounds, and I was just not about that life.
My first task is to remove all the hardware so that I could save it and repaint them, and then also demo as much as possible so that I don't have to pay anyone. But as we find out later in the video, I'm too weak and I ended up going over budget on the labor expenses that I wasn't planning on spending.
Ew. Ew. Ew.
So like I look like I know what I'm doing, but I don't. Like halfway through this disassembly, I had to go back to Home Depot and get like an extension thing so that I could unscrew all the crusty clips out from underneath the sink. And even though I got all of the screws out, the sink still wouldn't come out, probably because it weighed like 80 pounds. You can hear me moaning and groaning with disgust, because at some point there were termites in there, and like underneath the sink it was just a bunch of cobwebs, dead termites, dust, debris, grossness, and I was fearing for my life at this point.
Yo, this kitchen was built. This kitchen was army strong. Like, this kitchen was raised off of cornmeal, green beans, and dignity. Like, I just could not get it, man.
I was fighting for my life with this circular saw and just trying to take apart these countertops and cabinets. I had to go off camera to look for a YouTube video on how to operate this. As soon as I started onto the counter with that saw, I saw smoke. So I instantly threw in the towel and I found someone on Thermostat to finish destroying this mess that I created. A few $100 later, we have a clean and crusty canvas to work with. I think my breaking point for these renovations started with assembling these cabinets, because when I opened up the box, it was all of the cabinet pieces and a bag full of all of the screws mixed together, no labels whatsoever, and no instructions. It took me 3 days to assemble these cabinets. 3 days.
Although I assembled these cabinets, I paid someone to install them and attach them to the wall in the kitchen because they're just way too heavy.
When I opened these cabinets, it smelled like dust, crust, and death. So I needed to like deep clean them. I used a shop vac, and then I mixed a solution of extra strength industrial vinegar, Dawn dish soap, and some water, and got to scrubbing. They say you're supposed to prime these cabinets before painting. Only prep I did was cleaning them off and then sanding them. I didn't use any primer because if these cabinets wanted to peel and flake, that's a future she-rise problem. That's not a problem for this year. So I caulked with silicone. I guess that's supposed to be waterproof, but it's not paintable. I needed to make sure I painted the inside of these cabinets and also seal any cracks, because I feel like it was from the cracks in the inside the smell, the odor was emitting from. Don't ask me how I created these countertops. I still don't know to this day. I bought this countertop from a local hardware store. It's 10 feet, really heavy. This is how I'm preparing it. I tried using this wood conditioner, but I really wanted my countertops to be dark, so I don't think this step was necessary.
I think I used like 4 coats of stain because I really wanted that true rich espresso brown color. When I tell you, I measured and measured and measured again for maybe like an hour, maybe 2 hours on both my kitchen and on this countertop, and I still put the cuts on the wrong side. I was so upset. Because there's an A side and a B side, and I still managed to draw the measurements on the wrong side. And then I didn't realize until it was too late. When I put this piece on the cabinet and realized that I cut it an inch too short, I just kind of sat there like in denial, like So allegedly, this plunge cut that you see me finessingly executing with ease, it's supposed to be very dangerous, and you shouldn't try this at home, especially if you've never operated a tool like this before. But the only danger in this situation was the amount of work that I had to do to get all of this dust and wood sawdust out of my garage. To this day, a month and a half after this project has been completed, I still have dust everywhere. While that was drying, it takes about 2 hours in between coats for things to dry, so I just did other things. I had to clean off the hardware in that vinegar solution scrub off all that dust and grime, and then I spray painted it with, I think that's espresso, but like it's a matte color. No, it's a satin color. To save myself $100, I installed my dishwasher myself. I think that's a flex I'd put on my resume. The only priming that I did for these base cabinets was just some sandpaper. Hopefully this holds for a while. As I said before, I cut one of the countertops too short, so my hired help resized them, and I just ended up having to restrip both of them down and start over because they just look bad. So apparently Home Depot sells these dishwasher end panels, but they cost, I think it was like over $100, or just had poor quality. So for like $25, I assembled a end panel handle standle thing at the end for the dishwasher, and right now, you know, it hasn't fallen apart. I honestly need to cancel my gym membership because look at the gains that I'm getting from this. I think this thing is like 80 pounds. My back might not be saved, but at least I saved like $300. They were gonna charge me $300. I, a damsel in distress, they was about to charge me $300 to cut and install these countertops, and I said absolutely not. I had to make sure that the countertop was level before I started screwing it to the cabinets. I still ended up having to hire someone to screw in the rest of the screws because I think I did 2, and I feel like A for effort. And in order to make the countertop level, I ended up having to shear off some of the wood so that it would be level, and then I think I probably put some shims in there.
Looks really good.
Right? It matches.
It's sexy. I like it.
Yeah. It comes with a soap dispenser, so I have to figure out how to get the rest of the wood out of that whole bit, and then put it right there. I'll put this on my YouTube. Okay, so I tried to install a smart switch in my kitchen, but there were only 3 wires there, and I think there has to be 4 wires to have a smart switch. So I went and found another mess of wires. It looked like it got 10. So I'm gonna just guess that this has the 4 required wires.
I wasted a good portion of my weekend at trying to install and uninstall these because they served no purpose. But I just wanted to show y'all what I'm capable of. I'm dangerous.
So it was just working. What? I'm so confused. I am an electrician now. But don't tell nobody I told you that. I just gotta fit these in here somehow. Just please. Okay. But like, if it fits, it ships. Cause hey Google, turn off double.
Okay, turning double off.
Okay, and hey Google, turn off nom nom.
$20 later, we have a clean and crusty
Dang, this light is trash.
I have a few smart devices that I run off of Google Home, so I thought it'd be fitting that I just update my thermostat to be a Google Nest thermostat. Right now there's like a $75 off rebate for these thermostats for the energy efficient ones, so I just got that for cheap. As I was reconnecting the wires for this thermostat, the red wire just snapped off. And so I started panicking in frustration because I was like, now I'm going to have to pay somebody to fix it. It's going to cost me over $100. They're going to charge me an arm and a leg. They're going to see that I'm a woman and charge me that woman tax. But thankfully, someone told me that I could just pull the wires out of the wall, strip them all down, and then reconnect them again. And I am forever grateful.
Please? I did it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, now we just rotate that. Is it? Oh my gosh, it works. It works. Like I know you guys didn't see me put it on, but it works. I did that. Wow.
Okay, back to painting the kitchen. I didn't like the fact that my fridge was silver, my dishwasher was white, and my stove was black, and my microwave was like a combination. So I wanted to paint it, but I didn't want to have to do no extra priming, scuffing, prep work. So I got these wall liners off of Amazon. They're supposed to like cover up imperfections. Like it's not wallpaper, but it's a wall liner. So I just wet that and then I smeared it on. Surprisingly, this did not work well for the dishwasher. It started peeling off where you see that gap. But for the stainless steel refrigerator, it worked well. It's still intact, like a month after I installed and painted these. The only section that's losing some integrity is just right along that edge there, which is a high traffic area for my hands, so it is what it is. After I applied these strips on there, I also applied some strips to my microwave where it is stainless steel, and then I let that dry for 24 hours before I started with those 2 coats of paint. Y'all, I was so tired of going to Home Depot. Like the employees knew me by my first name. That's how often I was there. So I just took whatever I had, which was a bucket of thin set that they use for the tile backsplash, and just slathered that on there. And hopefully in a few months when I color match the beige paint, I can just sand it down and paint over it with that beige. Hopefully. To laminate this island, it would have cost me too much money, so I just got this plywood, and I told the guy at Lowe's to cut it down to this exact measurement, but that's where I went wrong because the island is uneven, so I ended up having to trim the bottom, which made the top uneven, and so I had to go back in with some wood filler and fill that gap, then sand and paint stain that gap. I don't know if there was a better method of fixing this plywood to this other piece of plywood, so I just glued it down and hope for the best.
So because they got so dingy after being recut down, I had to restain everything, a few coats, and then seal it. Like I said before, the underside of these cabinets smelled like sneeze back, and so I had to go in and paint every inch. I gave it the landlord special because I was not about to be out here with no stank cabinet. Like, what if someone bent over in the same area of my cabinet and was like, what does that smell? And I'm gonna be like, I don't know, the crust of Christmas past. But here's the big reveal. I really love it. Right now it's coming off a little too yellow on camera, but it's like a warm sand color in person. I love it a lot. It's all the same paint color. It's just on different mediums. I spent a lot of money on it. How much money, you might ask? Well, for the demolition of the base cabinets, as well as the installation of the microwave and the tile backsplash, as well as installation of the sink and the cabinets, all that labor was $2,582.88. And for all the materials and all the trips that I went to Home Depot and Lowe's for, that totaled out to $3,561.67 approximately. That includes the dishwasher, the microwave, the washer and dryer, the sink, any other tiny little pieces I needed to get the job done.
My kitchen renovation is featuring my washer and dryer set. So story time, when I first showed up here, I had my 5x8 trailer attached to my SUV. And I was like, let me just kill 20 birds with half a stone, and let me just find a Facebook Marketplace washer and dryer. Usually in Florida, you know, prices range. You could get a set for like $200 to like maybe $300. That's kind of high, but you can get a quality used set. But here, I found a woman on my way over here, and she charged me $250 for the washer and dryer, and I'm just like, okay. When I showed up there, dryer was crusty, but I was like, all right, I'll still take it. And then I plug in the dryer, and then it just didn't work. I went on Amazon and bought a multimeter just to make sure, because this is an old house. Just to make sure, I plugged it in and tested it, and the plug works, but the dryer did not. So I paid $250 for this crusty washing machine. Not my proudest moment. And then, so I went to a used place because I refused to pay full price for appliances. I got me this dryer, right? It opened up from the bottom, which I love, you know, I love that. It was over $300 for this crusty dryer. And when I turn it on, it just makes this high-pitched. So Oklahoma right now is not winning in the used appliances department. I bought this turf from Amazon. I found it on sale. I really like it a lot. It's like really soft and plush. And then I found this one at Aldi for like, I don't know, $25. Not as great, but I think it gets the job done. So ultimately I decided to put turf in here because I have a dog, and she goes through this door and then she brings all of her dirt in here. So I'm trying to minimize the amount of dirt she tracks into the rest of the house. And this is the only solution that I could think of. I might get more rugs. I have a rug outside, but I just really don't like dirt in my house. And she's doing... Is that a spider? Look at the... Ooh. And the... Ah.
I don't know if y'all are nosy like I am, but I'm gonna show you what's in my cabinets, except for the top ones up here, because like I could reach it, but is it practical? No. I can't find an organizer that's narrow enough for this. I have more thingies there, you know, and then, you know, more thingies. Ah, yeah. I think I broke this stove. Like I tried to move the stove and by pulling the handle, and I think this part started breaking. Technically, it's a brand new stove, but oh well.
So like I wanted to put in a smart switch here, but after fumbling for several hours, I realized that the wiring behind this is missing a neutral wire, so I couldn't or a ground wire, something. There's 3 wires in here, and I think there's supposed to be 4, so I couldn't install the smart switch. But my lovely tile man, he made a nice gap, so I had to fill this in with some spackle. I would have painted, or I would have changed, actually I don't care. And then here we have our lazy Suzanne. Ooh, so lazy, so lazy, so lazy, so lazy. Oh gosh, just gonna keep rotating it for you. Yeah, I paid $915 for this 3-pack of cabinets here. Did I mention that this also is soft close? That costs money. That costs money. Or one of my many mottos in life is, if it looks good from afar, you're winning, you know? So don't look too close. Don't look too close. You might ask, like, why didn't you paint your toe kicks? And I'm just like, do I care? The toe kicks can go paint themselves. One of the lessons I've learned from this project is that I don't like to paint. I don't have the patience for the precision that requires for painting. I also recommend, but don't take my advice, that
that you don't start a project while you're hungry. I started off trying to paint all of these cabinets, you know, all these cabinets with a paint sprayer, and I was so hungry that I was just like, I also didn't care, so I didn't put down enough PPE for the floor. So now I have paint all over my floors. I'm pretty sure there's something that could get it off without removing the beautiful coloring of this vinyl plank.
It was my mother. She came and she cleaned off the floors magically somehow. I don't know.
But I don't care. I don't really care.
My dishwasher works, and I checked underneath it for leaks, and like it don't work. Like it might look a little crusty, but from afar, right? This thing, I don't know. Yeah, I heard that Whirlpool. It's a Whirlpool. I heard that Whirlpool is like might be legit. Not even my favorite spot because I have a dishwasher, so the dishwasher was my favorite spot, but my most fanciest spot is the sink, right? So just put that back in there. This is a Delta. It probably costs like over $200. Why am I flexing on kitchenware? I don't know. But I heard that Delta is good for kitchenware. It got a matching soap dispenser for when I feel like I want to wash dishes, but mostly I just use it to wash my hands. It has this rack. Should I demonstrate for you? I don't own any plates, but right? I bought all clad pots and pans because I heard they were good, and I'm trying to, you know, do better for myself. So I don't put them in the dishwasher. I hand wash them all. This is a workstation sink. That's what it's called. If you come a little bit closer, because I have to show you a very crucial part. This is a workstation sink. We have our drying rack here, which I can fold it away. And then we have the sink in here, and I have a divider that is lower. I need like 2 sinks, and with this, you know, it's a Beth. I don't even think the 1 sink situation is a good world. So this is a Glacier Bay sink. I wouldn't recommend it. I like the concept of it, but I wouldn't recommend this model. I would recommend that you go to a more expensive one because there's scratches on the bottom. It's like easily scratched. That's probably why they made you have this grate down here. It came with a cutting board. It also came with a spaghetti strainer, which I'm pretty sure they didn't intend for it to be a spaghetti strainer. I think it's supposed to be for fruits and vegetables. But the way this thing strains my pasta on a hot struggle night, you need one of these. You need one of these. And I love how it's just like, I could just put this here and it fits perfectly. Everything just fits perfectly in this one area so that my countertop is not messy. My next favorite spot is this knife collection. I've always wanted knives that attach to the wall. It saves space. Like, this is a very good use of space in here, I could say, you know? You know? I don't think it's practical if a serial killer is like trying to kill me inside my house, because I'm not sure. You know, just keep it PG. Keep it PG. What's inside my cabinets, you say? Spices and cooking ingredients, you know? Yeah. Containers, some halal marshmallows, a sweet potato that I might eat, I might cook. Might. Containers. I don't have any plates. Send help. Don't own any plates. Costco favorites. More Costco finds. Miscellaneous items, including a blender. Why are we in the fridge? Funny story. I love Facebook Marketplace. I'll try to buy any and everything on there. So I was looking one day and this woman, she was selling cupcakes by the dozen. And then she ended up giving me like 12, dozen cupcakes. So I got cupcakes off Facebook Marketplace, I think, and they were free. So a win is a win. A win is a win. I'm still living.